Hello everyone, my name is SurrealBeliefs and welcome to the Dwarves, an incredible tactical RPG game based upon the novel of the same name. If you would like to know more information about the game and the book, you can check out a link down below and it'll have everything that you need. I'm going to begin right now. I won't be chatting during cinematics and dialogue, that way you can enjoy the story in the game. Again, it's a fantastic game. I didn't know how good it would be until I played it for a little while, and now I know. It is a lot of fun, and I hope that all of you enjoyed too. Off we go into the campaign, we'll have some backstory, and then we'll get straight into the action.
Fracas made us from stone to protect Girdlegard. Against orcs, ogres, and all the other beasts of Tion. We are the guardians of Girdlegard. We are the children of the divine smith. We are the Dwarves.
And now that we know that, we can dive straight into it. It'll give us a brief tutorial. And then we get the fight. We can pause the game at any time. Sure, we can do that. I could press E or press leap attack down here. We'll use E. And we'll dive right into it in the most dwarfy way possible. Like that. We've got a bridge to defend. Well, a gate. But before that gate, there's a bridge. I'll kill every orc over here. Then we can move on and form a dwarf shield wall. The little blue pips would be our ability points. We gain those after we kill enemies in battle. That way we can use our abilities. We don't use magic. We're dwarves. Come on now.
Come here, you!
I'm quickly cleaning them up. That's what I'm here for. To quickly beat them down. Again, the game took me off guard when I first played it. I was like, okay, tactical RPG, it'll be slow paced. No, they throw you right into it in a very positive way. That orc, okay, they'll get that orc. I can change up my camera view quickly. What's cool is that you can also knock enemies off the bridge. You need to watch out if you hit, like, let's say, these little pillars over here, these braziers, then you will be knocked down. Another one gone. Another wave will come eventually. I'm gonna weaken them for a time. I wanted to knock a few. Oh, there we go. A few fell off the bridge. That worked out. I would do a charge, but the charge is a little bit more risky. If I fly off the
present from the workshop.
I like presents. Okay. Explosive ones work too. All right, I can get a grenade. Well, not just one, but several. Let's go pick them up. Right over here.
I'd be happy to pass on this present to the greenskins.
Yeah, they'll like it. I know they will.
Understood.
All right, here's what we'll do. And a lot of them just flew off. Beautiful. We'll throw more back here. I got a great throw. Hold on. I'm gonna toss off a few more. I like that. Now, I don't want to use it too close to our front lines, or what will happen is that it'll break our line. We've been pushed back already. You watch. I did kill several. I'm gonna jump in now. Gonna knock down a few more. Keep them busy. We only need to kill 60. Only 60. Gotta kill a few. There we go. 2 more to go. Done.
My king! What are you doing here?
Giselbert I, the father of the Fifthling clan, has not been on the front line of battle against the creatures of Tion for many cycles. The king surveys the battlefield and the defenders with a grave expression.
We are too few.
This you know as well as he does. But there will be no reinforcements arriving. Hundreds of brave warriors lie inside the fortress dying. The illness is running rampant. It brings weakness and death.
Stay at your posts. Be as steadfast as the granite of which we are made. Nothing can break us. Fracas is with us.
And now we have another character, Giselbert. He's very powerful. I love the guy a lot. Okay, let's move up here quickly.
Yes.
I'm gonna have you leap up too. Bit like that. I'm not trying to show off King, but keep you alive. I do need to watch out. The ogres can knock me down. If they do that, we're in trouble. So I do need to watch out. We'll stun them. Do some damage. Look nearby dwarves. I do want you to move back a little bit. You don't need to be that online. Okay, that should do it. Let's put a mighty swing. That's where we can be in trouble. We nearly have him. They're all knocking to the side of it. That was my mighty what? Cleave attack? Yeah, cleave attack. I don't want my character to have cleave now. Pretty good. 41. Whoa! Hey now. That wasn't good. Don't do that. We'll knock him to the side a little bit. You're over here. We'll knock a few off. Where's my king at? My king's over here. I was worried that I knocked him off. That would have been a bad way to end the fight. Killing my king. Get him. We got him. I don't have to worry about being knocked off now. I'm looking to knock myself off. Should hopefully not be the case. I can quickly move into battle by doing that. There's my beautiful cleave again. And so many orcs go away when I do that. How quickly I can just jump into battle.
Just a moment. Not possible right now.
Okay, not possible right now? Okay, never mind. Another cleave. Pull up forward a little bit. Yeah, it's not really about the damage, it's more about the AoE impact of the grenades. I'm gonna begin to cut in. We need more of our dwarves to fight. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The catapult won't be that hard to take down. Alright, I'm just stunning a group of them. Like that. That wasn't a lot of them. Now we have a lot of our clan fighting. Let's come over here and beat more of them.
Be off with you.
I don't even know how many orcs we've killed. I just know that it is a lot. So let's back over here now. And now over here. How about that? Pretty darn good. There's another group gone. Not quite done yet. There's that one catapult. I'm gonna heal up my nearby dwarves with our, what's it called? For Brakas! And they'll fuck with her for a short time too.
Just a moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it. Oh, they're all pretty healed up. We're okay. Got them, and they all died. Or a lot of them
These
did.
are the ones who attacked us in the tunnels. We suffered great losses beating them back.
Come here and I'll split you like a straw, you treacherous elf!
In his fury, the old king radiates a ferocious power that none of Citalia's children could withstand. But the slight, willowy being sitting astride the shadow mare just grins down, mockingly.
You are mistaken. We are Alpha. We are here to destroy the elves.
All peace-loving beings here in Girdlegard are under our protection, and you cannot open the gate that has barred your path into Girdlegard since the creation of the world.
Not us, but perhaps one of your kind.
This cannot be. Silence, you fool! Vrakas, forgive me for what I am about to do.
Quickly! In formation! You must hold them back until I close the gate!
What is it?
Now I've got another battle. We made two go flying. Pretty good. I get to fight here. We'll be holding the line. I won't have to move past that.
And stay dead!
The poor king. He's activating the various ranges you can see on the wall. Or at the gate. They're being filled up. Move up. pushing them back. That's how well we're doing. So well we're able to even push them back. That's how strong we are. I mean, we're sturdy, low center of gravity, heavily armored. We're gonna do a lot of damage no matter what we do, I'm sure. Yeah, let's get him. One final charge. A literal charge. Alright, the gate's closing. We get to defend here alone.
Look at me. I am Sintheras, the reaper of your death. I will take your life, and the land will take your soul.
Get out of my sight, pointy ears, and let me delight at the closed gate a little longer.
The gate may have closed, but when you rise again from the dead by the power of the land, you will be one of us, and you will open it.
Never! My soul belongs to Vrakas.
No. Your soul now belongs to the land, and henceforth you will belong to it forever. Now die, and return. Then hand us Girdlegard.
That's pretty violent and terrible. That's over now.
You're a perfectionist, Tungdil Bolafar.
I've got a reputation to uphold. If you can't rely on the metalwork of a dwarf, what can you rely on? What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. It's Lot Yonan. He wants to see you in his study.
In your mind, you go through all the recent incidents that might have annoyed the Magus. Apart from a few little squabbles with his famuli, nothing worth mentioning happened since the incident with your beard. You nod.
Okay. You look dreadful.
What a charmer.
The maid gives you an ironic, reprimanding scowl.
Ikana has been crying half the night.
When you were teething, I carried you around the vaults. You played with my beard and I sang you to sleep.
Frala smiles. She's heard this story many times before.
That was 23 cycles ago. But I'm quite sure you didn't sing. You might have grumbled a bit.
If what you've read about the dwarven lifespan is true, it'll be another 300 sun cycles and more before you are called to the Eternal Forge. The certainty of one day having to witness Frala's death already burdens your heart.
I'd better not keep the Magus waiting.
See you later. There's goulash for dinner.
Do you like goulash?
This is where you swung the forge hammer for the first time 30 cycles ago. No one taught you the craft. It was enough for you to watch Lot Yonan's old smith at work. Whenever the workshop was empty, you practiced and quickly mastered the craft with ease.
We'll look around before we go talk to the Magus.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood.
And over here?
There are apparently dwarves who have never seen the sky. And you too feel more comfortable when you have rock over your head. If only you didn't long to see more of the world, a longing that grows stronger with every year.
And what's under that? A leather cloth. I'm sure I'll need that later. Here's a statue to Vrakas.
Everything you know about dwarves you learnt from books. The divine smith created the dwarves, and from time to time you make him an offering of some crumbs of gold. It's the most valuable thing you have to offer Vrakas. You've worked a bit more on Sunya's birthday present last night. The little one is crazy about horses. You, on the other hand, prefer to keep your distance unless you're fitting them with hooves. Too many legs and way too big.
So when we do that and let the narrator tell us about the world, we learn more about the world. It's a evolving bit of lore in our minds as we continue to go on.
Groundling! Come to the kitchen, we need you!
Jolison, a 4th degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance and disappears without waiting for your reply.
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with laboratories, a library, and private rooms for the famuli. Together with the forge, the kitchen, and the other utility rooms, it makes up quite an impressive complex. But compared to the courts of the other magi, the seat of power in Yonandar is small and modest.
Let's head over into the kitchen now. I could pilfer their food, or try to, but they're eating. That might be a bad idea. Over here, I can get food. Hello, I'll take that. Now we have food for 2 more days. We have food.
Tandil! Oh, quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting and the cauldron stuck in the fireplace. It's a heavy load and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty, dare do anything. They might burn their fingers, or even get a bit dirty.
But yes, we have food over here, and days that are counted. That's very important to note, because in a lot of games, time is rather unimportant. You could have days pass on, kind of, but it doesn't really pertain to the story. Here, days do pertain to my adventure, and I've got to manage food. And of course I have gold. Alright, time to go handle that mounting bracket.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this. Do you remember when you dyed my beard with some magic spell? I had to shave it off.
You stroke your beard, which is unusually short for a dwarf.
Damn it! Ah, it's heavy!
The young human forces through his pursed lips, letting the pot sink a little.
Don't you dare ruin my goulash, boy!
The cook, with beefy forearms, glares at the young man, and after a brief moment, he tries harder. With as much concern in your voice as you can muster, you say,
Oh, no, this doesn't look good.
You're pleased to notice he's dripping with sweat.
I'll get you back for this, groundling! You damned freak!
For a moment you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
I like how she was able to hoist it with one arm. Pretty good.
The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy already. Oh look, a cradle.
I am your godfather, little one. I'll look after you, just like I looked after your mother.
Little Akana grasps your calloused finger and smiles at you wide-eyed.
Over here, we can look at the kitchen table.
Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to handle her heavy wooden spoon, and that she may possibly have eyes in the back of her head.
Okay. Oh look, beer.
The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to be the best beer in Idderslane. It's certainly your favourite beer, but you haven't drunk enough other beers to truly know.
I really enjoy the wit and humor in the writing. It's rather entertaining. Okay, we'll go talk to Lot Yonan. He's gonna be over here next to my forge. Good thing everything's made of stone here.
Lot Yonan didn't just take you in. He also taught you how to read and write. But you don't feel like reading right now. Especially as you already know all the books by heart.
Time for a chat with Lot Yonan. Lot Yonan? Yeah, Yonan. My bad.
Master Lot Yonan, Frala told me you wished to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure. What's in the bag?
Magical devices. You better leave the bag closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Rakus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
Perhaps I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps. But don't hold out too much hope. And be careful who you talk to. Not everyone out there likes dwarves.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The Longnoses threatened to throw you into the nearest river. Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Vrakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
He's a very kind old man. And as was mentioned, his abode here is a lot more humble than the other lots. Alright, we'll go talk to Frala before we go. Should probably do that. I have a bit more gold. He gave me my allowance. How nice of him. Here's Frala. We can say goodbye for now. For now.
Hello, Frala.
Hmm?
I need provisions for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in Amagus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a tricky subject that you can't help but broach.
There aren't dwarves down here. You're the only one in Idderslane as far as we know.
I know, but I can't just have been born out of a rock. Somewhere in the mountains, I have a clan. Maybe even a family.
Yes. Maybe.
Frala has reminded you more than once that Lot Yonan wrote to the dwarf clans and none of them were missing a dwarf boy.
I've got a present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewelry in Girdlegard.
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said. But you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
I wish you the blessing of Palandiel and Vrakas to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
Of course, okay. Yeah, if we didn't chat with them, we wouldn't have all these little backstories and even new items. Oh, and a lot more food. I appreciate that as well. Wonder what would happen if I ran out of food. Nothing else for me to look at, I believe. Time for me to go. Off to the map now. To find out what is in the world.
Nice to see you again, Lot-Yonan. It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No. I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
I don't trust that guy at all. He's rather, well, one, odd looking. I should judge him by that.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak.
No kidding. Let's go.
You reach a small lake by a birchwood. Your feet hurt and your eyes still sting in the unaccustomed sunlight. But a smile spreads across your face nonetheless. You've covered a decent distance on the first day of your big journey. You pitch your camp and lie down to sleep on the hard forest floor. When you awake in the morning, your legs are stiff and achy. Trying not to feel sorry for yourself, you throw your rucksack over your shoulder. You're a dwarf, and dwarves don't complain.
That is right. We handle it. We'll keep on moving to that question mark. Point of interest.
Around midday, with the sun high in the sky and the first beads of sweat appearing on your forehead, you see something move next to the road, a few hundred meters ahead. Some crows are pecking at something in the long grass. When you see the blood on the ground, you try to convince yourself it's from an animal that just happened to be killed on the road by a hunter. You know this is improbable, and your hope disappears completely when you see 2 human bodies lying in the flattened grass.
Alright. Let's go look at what we can find over here.
A slender man lies in front of you, dressed in an expensive robe. It is in the colors of Turgur the Fair-Faced, one of the 6 magi. The dead man must be one of Turgur's famuli. You don't see any wounds.
Well, we'll turn him over.
By Vracus.
There are some narrow stab wounds in the man's chest. The cuts are too big to have been made by arrows, but too small for sword wounds. You don't see any signs of a struggle in the area where the corpses are lying. Were they stabbed by a companion? A stranger could hardly have crept up on them with such sparse cover.
Nothing.
Here's body number 2. A
You
guard.
look down on a tall, broadly built man. He's wearing dark brown leather armor that is strengthened with iron plates. There's a sword lying next to him. Was he trying to defend himself against something? Or someone? There is no blood on the sword. The man has the same incisions. It's clear that both men were killed by the same weapon. But what that weapon might be, you cannot say.
Let's go over here to the rucksack.
A rucksack that probably belonged to one of the dead. It seems to have been searched and then thrown away carelessly. You find a few implements, some provisions, and a map. A route is drawn on it from Parista, Nudin's capital, to Lot Yonan's vaults.
Does this mean that Turga the Fair-Faced is in Parista and wanted to send Lot Yonan a message? And if so, why didn't he use magic? Did he want to contact him without anyone noticing? Why all this secrecy?
Which is a bit curious too. That other magus came by via magic. Apparently he didn't care about being known if he came by like that.
You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
The other magus came by in a secret manner, wanting to warn Lot Yonan, I would imagine. Oh boy, that is really bad. I nearly want to head back, but I doubt it'll change anything.
It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shallow graves in the ground with a stick and covering the corpses with a few stones. But it should at least keep the crows from their feasting for a while. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between you and your grisly find before night falls.
We can move on now. Oh look! Over here, a dwarf merchant. Ah.
You see a flickering light through the trees some way from the path. It might come from a campfire. You walk towards the fire with confident strides until you finally make out 3 broad-shouldered men with axes. 2 rabbits are sizzling over the fire. The men are joking with one another, but you can only understand the odd word. They haven't noticed you yet. Once you reach the edge of the firelight, you say amicably,
"Greetings. My name is..."
The men jump up and grab their axes.
Who's there?
Well, I'll be. Is that a groundling?
The men look you over suspiciously.
My name is Tungdil. I'm only a traveller who would have nothing against a warm fire and some company.
A groundling wants our company.
We are honest, hard-working men. Why would we have anything to do with groundlings? Be off with you.
The man strengthens his grip on the axe and passes his tongue over his yellowed teeth while keeping you in his sights. You shrug your shoulders indifferently and take 3 small steps backwards without taking your eyes off the men.
All right, if I'm not welcome here, then I'll go.
Good! And don't even think about coming back to stab us in the back or steal from us. We'll keep guard. There's nothing here for groundling scum.
Your heart is pounding, and you confront the man a little more courageously than you feel.
I'm no thief, and I'm certainly no murderer. I only wanted to see if...
Pah! All groundlings are thieves and good-for-nothings.
You find it difficult to take control of your voice again.
Have you met many dwarves?
Enough to know that you're all dirty thieves.
Now consider this. I am a dwarf with an axe, and I don't use my axe for cutting down trees.
The men are visibly unsettled and lower their axes a little.
I thought so.
You turn your back on the men and walk back to the path confidently. You don't hear any steps behind you, and only once you've put distance between you do you dare look back over your shoulder. None of the men have followed you. You sigh with relief. It could have ended up a very painful experience if you'd provoked the men or shown them any weakness.
I did not, yeah.
You reach the banks of the Warder and can see Axeldale on the other side, but there isn't a bridge for far and wide. The fishermen's boats glide over the water, which sparkles in the sun. None of the men seem to notice you while they throw out their nets. You call to the nearest fisherman. He looks across at you briefly before turning away and getting back to his work. You're going to have to find another way of crossing the river. You look at the cold, dark water. The current seems so strong that they could carry off even the most experienced of swimmers, and you aren't even a mediocre one. You once read a legend in a book. Elria, the goddess of water, did not like the children of the forge and cursed the dwarves.
so that they would drown in any waters beyond their kingdoms. The main reason that dwarves avoid water to this day. You leave the peaceful banks of the river behind you and continue on your way.
Let's go on. We'll head over to Goodwater now.
You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack. The guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude that the men depend on the protection the armor offers and aren't just wearing them to look good. They're certainly not villagers.
Okay, a well-off town. I mean, it's a town with a bridge. I would imagine they make money from tolls. That would be logical. Fires for illumination at night to see any type of intruder. Oh, very bright of them.
There are small fires burning every 50 steps or so. They are intended to light up the area in front of the palisade in the night, so that orcs can't creep up to within an arrow's reach without being seen. The wooden palisade encompasses the whole of the large village and is guarded by many men in armor. The stronghold has been constructed in haste, probably only over the last few days, but the work is sound, and uninvited guests should find it difficult to gain access.
A few guards up there, alright. And orc skulls, lovely.
Orc skulls?
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with the severed heads of their fellow kind.
The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security has been forgone here for practical reasons. Never a good idea when building fortifications.
We'll go talk to the guards now.
Some of the guards begin to whisper as you near the gate.
Hello up there! What brings you to fair Goodwater? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
Goodwater is well known for its hospitality.
A fact that you've just made up yourself.
Let me in, and I will tell other travellers all about it.
I regret to inform you that we cannot allow you to enter. The gates stay closed once night has fallen.
There's certainly no regret showing in the man's face. The orc heads on the spears look fresh, a fact that causes you unease for more than one reason.
Those won't scare orcs away.
I hope not. The more orc heads that end up on those spears, the more gold coins that end up in our pockets. Right, boys? Yeah! That's right! Yeah! We've killed our fair share of orcs and know how to motivate them. Those ugly mugs will spur them on, and then they'll perish in front of our gates.
Two things become clear to you. Firstly, that the mercenaries the villagers have hired are excellent at killing orcs, and secondly, that they sadly have no brains at all.
When did you kill these orcs?
Yesterday. We caught a couple of their scouts first. The others tried to take revenge in the evening. Let's see who'll turn up today.
I'm a blacksmith. And a dwarf. Let me tell you, your gate might look solid, but it won't withstand a real orc assault.
The murmuring all around him makes the man pause for a moment. If anyone else had criticized the stronghold, they'd have been laughed down and shooed away. But no one understands defense systems like the dwarves.
A dwarf blacksmith who just happens to be standing in front of our gate?
That's right. I can see to it that orcs crack open their skulls on your gate, just like at home on the High Pass. Skulls that add up to hard cash for you.
You only know about the secondling stronghold from books, but you can see in the man's face you've pushed the right buttons.
All right then. You can spend the night in the village. You begin work tomorrow morning, and it had better work like you promised.
Of course. It's a trifle.
I fibbed my way in, but hey, I've read a lot. I have a good working knowledge of things. I can probably figure out how to brace that gate.
After a meal, you spend the night in the comfort and shelter of a Goodwater tavern. The next morning, you feel fully refreshed. You strengthen the gate with cross braces of wood and iron, using your experience and skill. Now it should be able to withstand an attack for much longer. Mercenaries and villagers alike watch you work, clearly impressed. As you finish, a man approaches you.
Well done, dwarf. We were right to bring you into our village.
The village grew rich through bridge tolls, and this wealth must be defended. You're proud of what you've achieved in such a short time. You've even invested more time than was wise.
I was happy to help, but half the day is lost and I must be on my way.
A strong dwarf like you will always be welcome here in Goodwater. Be careful out there. Who knows where the orcs might be lurking?
Okay, we're gonna call it here. When we're back, we'll keep on traveling and probably encounter more adventurers or even danger. A lot of orcs probably. I hope that you have enjoyed our series here, and I'm looking forward to playing even more. Don't forget to leave a like down below, check out my channel, and as always, until then,